Stop being a little bitch and jump into the unknown. I did this meditation the other day, and I was like meditating on bringing my future into the current, you know, sitting in the energy of future me, like getting all quantumly entangled. Actually, sidebar, quantum entanglement. Okay, so quantum entanglement, if I was to put it in my terms, the way that I experience it personally, is like, I think of it like two sides of a coin. Okay, let's just say heads. That side of the coin is the reality that you really want in your life, that you're like, oh, like maybe you want a new house or car, or maybe you just want to feel happy every day and peaceful, and you just want to like lay outside and like stare at the sky and have a beautiful day, chilling, not worrying about things and just letting your nervous system heal. Yeah, that's what we want. So that's on the head side of the coin. And then on the tail side of the coin underneath is the current reality that you have now, your current thoughts, the way that you feel, your state of being, as Joe Dispenza likes to call it. If you keep observing the tail side of the coin where you currently are, that's what you'll keep manifesting into your life. That's the life that you will continue to create. Because when we observe energy, and as we all know by now, surely, like everything is energy. Everything is energy. Energy, 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 energy. Fucking no, whatever. Anyway, everything's energy. So when you observe energy for long enough, it collapses into matter. So if you think about it in the context of your current physical reality that you live, everything in your life is a result of the choices that you've made based on how you feel and your state of being, the way that you see the world, the way that you react to the things around you, the way that you either take ownership or place blame or whatever, like all those kind of things. It's just how you generally feel in your everyday life. Oh, and there's also this thing called superposition. So let's just say the coin, the head side of the coin and the tail side of the coin goes on its side and it's spinning. It's just spinning, 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 spinning. And while it's spinning, it's neither heads or tails. It's both and it's neither. So that's called superposition, when the outcome hasn't really come to fruition or it's not been decided yet, that kind of thing. It's in superposition. And as soon as you make a choice and you step into a specific energetic state where you feel something in your body and you can see it, or if you have aphantasia or whatever, you might not be able to see it, but you get the sense for the thing, you can feel the emotions, all that sort of stuff in your body. And that's you making a choice to then observe the top side of the coin, heads. And so let's just say the coin's in superposition and it's neither, and then it comes to a wobbling halt and it stops and it lands on the top side of the coin. And now you're observing that energy at the top side of the coin. So even though your life physically still represented by the bottom side of the coin, you're observing the energy on the top side of the coin. And how are you observing this energy? You are feeling it in your body, okay? Which at first is hard to do when life is hard and the victim mentality is super loud and you're like, no, well, it's easy for you because X, Y, Z. It's easy for everyone else because X, Y, Z, but not me, I can't do it. Or like, that's not fair for all the people in the world who blah, blah, blah. Like, I know not a lot of things are fair. And when we do get ourselves out of that victim state and into a healed nervous system and stepped into our own personal power where we can do beautiful things for the world, we can actually make changes. But until then, we need to stop whinging and start changing our energy. Even if you can't change anything else in your life, if you can change your energy and the way that you think and feel and your state of being, you will observe that top side of the coin long enough for it to finally collapse into particle. It'll collapse into matter. That will be the reality that you live in. That's the exact process I'm in at the moment. So my inner world. So at first I had to train myself to constantly try and like look at the top side of the coin, look at the head side of the coin. I was like, keep looking at it, but then I'd fall back to the tail side of the coin being like, but it's hard, everything's hard. So I just struggle my whole life. So then, but through like practice, right? Like it's not an overnight thing. Like you make the choice every day. Like every day I made a choice to get myself into that energy. And if I was particularly anxious, particularly sad, particularly painful on the inside, I would do a meditation and allow myself to feel those feelings and hold space for myself in those feelings and bring myself back to a place of feeling the higher elevated emotions eventually, you know, in the later half of the meditation or whatever. And that was really beautiful. And so I've been training myself to observe the top side of the coin. Then what happened was I shifted energetically completely into the top side of the coin. So I no longer live on the bottom side of the coin anymore. Energetically, I live in the top side of the coin. Every day, I literally feel like I am the most capable, calm, happy, unconditionally loving, magical being. I feel like a millionaire. I feel like I could do absolutely anything. I completely trust myself. Even when I have the human emotional spectrum come through and I experience challenges and everything, I just have love for myself through it. Like, I still feel pain. I still feel anxiety. I still feel, all the things, but I don't attach all of these like identities to them. I don't attach all of this weight to it. I just go like, oh, I'm feeling that. And why am I feeling that? I'm curious as to why I'm feeling that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm just like, sweet, well, if I need to feel it for a bit longer, I'll allow that. And I ask my body how it feels and kind of like parent myself as if my body's like a little 4-year-old child. And then the emotion and the feeling and everything passes and I feel so much better. And I don't know, it just feels exactly like what I'm meant to be doing. And now, like with this business I'm creating, all of that, so I hadn't thought of that business ages ago. The inspiration for that only came through maybe like a month ago. It's super in alignment with my values and with what I was already doing. So I've already been like helping people on the podcast. It's called Esther's Universe for a really long time now, like a year. A really long time, lol. Been helping people on the podcast for a year and on my TikTok, just sharing so much information, and on my Instagram now as well. That can help people kind of like get to where I'm at, because I just want to bring everyone with me as much as I can. And I like to leave a trail of just helpful stuff wherever I go, with everything that I go through as well, while it's relevant to me, because then, I know that if I'm going through it, there's other people who are going through it. So I like to pass that information on and help. So anyway, the business is very, very helpful for others. It helps people do this exact process. It helps you rewire your subconscious beliefs so that they are in alignment with the head side of the coin, so that you can, via quantum entanglement, attach yourself energetically, like by a gold cord, to the reality that you're moving into, and then observe it as much as you can without resistance. So the point of getting your subconscious on board is because if your subconscious believes it to be true, it will manifest in your life, right? Like your current state of being is based around all of your current subconscious beliefs. That just be the way it works with the brain and everything like that. So I'm going to help everyone rewire their brain and make new neural connections and pathways and everything to new beliefs, new feelings in the body. And not my beliefs, obviously. Like, I'm helping people get into alignment, like find their own. Like, what do you value? What do you want out of your life? Don't do what I do if you want, but only if it resonates, you know what I mean? But I just want to help people have the tools to be able to do this in like a super easy way, super affordable way. And like, I love meditations. I make meditations and I infuse like all of this amazing high frequency galactic energy into it as well, and help people like energetically heal while also shifting into the place they want to go. So like all these different things that I'm helping people with in the app that I'm making is going to have meditations for all these things as well, to really get it into the subconscious. And I'm so excited about that. Okay, so I'm painting this picture. Oh my God, I have to tell you the poem that is on here. I wrote it. So the poem says, "Sometimes in my heart it rains, and when it does, I celebrate. For when it rains, I feel anew a joy that can be felt by all and named by only few. But I wonder if I share that joy, you might name it too." That's really beautiful. When I first wrote it, it made me cry. And everything I create for myself. I'm creating as an expression of where I'm at the time, which is why I'm building this business right fucking now, because this is where I'm at. If I let this time pass and I don't create it now, who knows what I'll do? And then the momentum will be gone, and then it'll just be like one of those ideas that I had in my life that I never did anything about. This time, this idea is coming to reality. So keen, really keen. But anyway, so with all of my creations, I basically just let my heart and soul out. I express exactly where I'm at in this exact vibe at this exact time. And then I share it with the world as well, because there's energy behind it, and that energy is cathartic for other people. It helps me connect with the world around me. It helps me, I don't know, I feel like I create things that people can look at and be like, same, same sis. And then the pieces that I do, like my paintings that I do that I love, I fucking love them. And I actually have to like sit there and rewire my own brain to let them go. Because I'm like, they're on my website for sale, but
I know I'm energetically hanging on to them. I know that I'm like, I don't want to let it go yet. So I sit there and I'm like, come on, Esther, it's okay if someone else has this. This is what you do it for, to get your light language out into the world. It's okay to let it go. Anyways. I keep wiping my hands, by the way, because I have hyperhidrosis. It's where my sweat glands are overactive. That's like the medical term, but it's actually because I'm a fucking alien here on Earth and I'm not equipped to handle the temperatures here. And also I vibrate at a very, very, very high frequency, which means that I'm vibrating faster, and when energy is sped up or when it vibrates quickly, it creates heat. Like boiling water turns into steam, you know what I mean? And when a vibration is slow, it's like frozen or dead, like ice. Anyway, so I vibrate at a really fast frequency and I'm just constantly churning energy through me, and it's got to come out somehow. But it drips like blood, basically. It's not blood, but it literally drips like blood. There's a machine I can get. I'm just waiting to launch the business and I'll get it. Should we do a quick art tour intermission? This is the painting that I'm doing at the moment. There's this pretty angel girl. She has cool claw feet. This is the dragon bunny. I love him. Hey, love you. This is called the frequency of authenticity, and it reminds me of just like the fabric of my entire soul. Like everything that I am, you know, we're not linear. We're not just these perfect beings. We're messy, and there's so much that goes into being a human being. So many different parts to who we are, and we can be all of that at once. So we just need to like love it, right? Like I feel like when we love ourselves entirely, we allow ourselves to fully see ourselves. We don't run from ourselves. We don't cover up the pain. We allow ourselves to feel it and see it, and we love ourselves for who we are. We become whole, and when we become whole, we are compassionate for every single aspect of who we are, right? And that's when we can resonate at the frequency of authenticity, which is the most magnetic frequency that exists. Because what are you meant to do? What else are you meant to do? You're meant to be here and be you. And you can allow source, like the universe, to operate through you, through your authentic expression. So that's what that piece is. I had it online for sale and then I took it down because I don't want to sell it yet. I just love it too much. But you know, depending on when you see this video, maybe if you love it too and you're like, oh, I want it, it might be online one day. This is called Wunyo and I love it. Sonia and I, like my best friend and I, we did this one together. I'd started the painting and then I painted over it in all these oranges and everything because I was like, actually, I don't want it to look like that anymore. I want it to look like this. So I painted over it and then she came over and we were having this like amazing week. I might drop in some footage to show just like sort of Sonia and I existing.
Oh my God, 8 is literally DNA.
Hey?
Number 8 is the DNA and it's a continuous reproduction.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel it too, but like it's beautiful that other people can.
Especially here.
Oh my God, I just love it so much. It's about balance. It's about harmony. It's about the feminine and masculine energy. It's about romanticizing your life. It's about making everything cute so that you can feel cute and that being okay. It's not shallow to do that. Isn't this cool? This one here is a crowd favorite. It took me a long time to put this one online because I just got nowhere else to put them, you know what I mean? I don't have a studio yet. One day, I'll have one very soon. So this one is about like reconnecting with nature, recommuning with her after like a lifetime of forgetting that she's important. And it says, I am the trees, minerals, flora, and fauna. I am the very atoms vibrating to form this reality. And it's called I Am Terra. And those are lines from a poem that I wrote about this very thing. It was also a manifestation for the life that I have created for myself now. And it says, why did I come here again? Something about living. You know, when you're going through your spiritual journey, or even if you're not on like a spiritual journey and you're just someone who's like going through your personal development or whatever, and you forget sometimes like who you are, and then you remember and you're like, fuck, like I know better than this. And then also like you forget that it's okay to be safe and play and like let your inner child out and to express and to just create the life that you want, because we're so caught up in this like heightened nervous system state of like fight or flight and, you know, prolonged stress and everything just because of the world that we live in. And when you start to come out of that, you can really start to see that connection to source, that connection to the universe, or just that connection to yourself, you know? And sometimes it's still a little foggy. Sometimes the cloud comes over and you're like, what am I doing? Like, why did I come here again? Like, what the fuck? And then other times you can see it really clearly. And I think that's just part of the human condition. And I love it. I love this painting. I love it so much. Look at this. What? All this texture. That's like real texture. Look, I'll give it a... Oh, yeah. But it's giving like ancient Egypt, it's giving ancient aliens, it's giving Aztec, it's giving like inner soul starseed beings connecting in with like source and the universe and everything. To me anyway, like art is whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be whatever I say it is. This is one of my first pieces. This one says, sorry, help. And I painted this when I was going through the process of like, I was feeling like a burden because I'd never allowed myself to like fall apart as a person before. I had previously always like had to like keep it together just to like keep my son and I alive. So ever leaning on anyone for help felt like it was a huge burden. And so I painted like 10 paintings to get that feeling out. And that one I just love, so I kept it. Stunning. Isn't she hot? Oh. I'm not done yet. I'm going to paint over that. I'm going to do some more to it. Trust the inner wisdom. I stand alone in the dark to know myself. The light shines from within. Isn't that beautiful? I became free when I became me. I am the guide. I am the guided. Grief comes with endings. With endings come new beginnings. I'm a very creative person, obviously. Like I have created a podcast, like I cut all of my own audio up and I edit all of that myself. I don't actually do a lot of cutting. I pretty much just ramble like this and then just take off any like coughs at the start and the finish, that kind of thing. And then I put it on the internet and people just listen to it. I don't listen to it before I put my podcast up either. I literally just raw dog it. I'll talk, put the thing out there, and then I listen to it for the first time with everyone else and I go, oh my God, did I say that out loud? But then I'm also really proud of myself for doing that because, whoa, that is jumping into the unknown as fuck. And jumping into the unknown is some of the most magnetic, powerful energy that we can be in this life. So stop being a little bitch and jump into the unknown. Yes, so I'm really creative. I paint, create TikTok videos and edits and stuff like that. Now I have this YouTube channel. I do my own photography. I did my own logo for my new business and all of my branding for my personal brand as well. I know all of like the creative suites. Like I know like InDesign, Photoshop. I used to be a photographer for 10 years. Lightroom, Premiere Pro. I'm learning Audition because I create meditations as well. So that's like an audio experience. My meditations are such a fucking vibe. And so I learned how to do like audio editing, and now I want to learn how to like literally produce music. That's my next thing. But right now I'm going to like keep creating this business first because otherwise I'll just never get it launched if I just keep diverting onto like 20,000 new projects. And if you're an ADHD manifesting generator as well, you know exactly how that feels. So just be like, I'm so excited for the next thing, but I'm going to finish this thing. But it's good because it gives me momentum to finish this thing so that I can start those things, right? Like it's a good problem to have. Anyway, so I'm launching an app. It's called Theta, Theta, which is the name of my favorite brainwave. And that is my favorite brainwave because it's the brainwave that I've been getting myself into so much to rewire my subconscious. When we're in a theta brainwave, we are highly suggestible. It's also the brainwave that we go into when we first fall asleep at night and when we first wake up in the morning, which is also why I don't go on my phone for the first like 30 minutes to an hour each day and also I try not to be on my phone right before I fall asleep at night, because all of that is getting, like all the advertisements that you see are getting straight into your subconscious. And then if you're comparing yourself to people and all that stuff, it's all just you're just embedding that into the internal belief system so that you can then walk around in life comparing yourself and hating yourself and thinking that you need all these things that you don't need. So I try not to be in theta state and on my phone at the same time. I go into theta state intentionally in meditation, so I get myself into like a really deep meditation. You also go into theta state when you are in hypnosis as well. So it's like you're super, super conscious at this time. You're very awake, but you're also very deeply relaxed, very, very deeply relaxed. And your subconscious mind is kind of like opens like a flower. And you can put these new beliefs in. And through repetition of doing that, they eventually create new pathways in your brain. And when those new pathways finally form, that means the old pathways are like getting neglected, right? Think of it like plants. So you'll have like a few house plants. If you're watering these 2 house plants, but you're not watering the 3rd house plant, the 3rd one's going to die and the 2 will be thriving. So think about the old habits and all of that. Like you want to like heal yourself as much as like, giving yourself the space to just feel the emotions from your past. That's all you really need to do. Just love yourself, have the compassion, that kind of thing for the healing. Just become aware of yourself and allow yourself to feel in your body. But then other than that, like you don't need to give the attention to the old way of being. You don't want to keep watering that plant, right? Like you want to let that plant die and keep watering the new plants that you actually want to grow, which is the new brainwaves that you're making the connections. And you do this in theta state, in the theta brainwave. So that's why I named the business that, because that's what we're doing. We're redesigning the mind and we're creating a whole new life, because that's what I did. And I'm helping you do it too. And yeah, so I'm currently creating, so creativity in general, there's so many things like that you learn from doing it. Like when you're creating, whether I'm creating a painting or I'm creating a business, I'm going through the same kind of process, and I've mastered photography. I did that for 10 years, fucking mastered it. And so when I learned how to do that and I learned how to master something, I then knew how to master anything else. So I've only been painting for a year, and some people might look at my paintings and be like, ew, not my vibe. Other people might look at that and be like, you've only been painting for a year, these are sick. It's a subjective thing. And just like with my business, some people are going to be like, that doesn't vibe with me, and that's completely okay. Not everyone's going to resonate on my frequency. I'm not expecting to make everyone happy with everything I'm doing. I'm expecting to reach the other Esthers in the world, whatever shape and size they come in. There are people who resonate with my frequency, and that's who I'm doing all of this for. And those are the people that are going to be like, oh my God, love your paintings. Oh my God, love your business. Like, love what you've created. Thank you. And I'll be like, you're so welcome. Thank you for saying thank you. And they'll be like, you're so welcome. And then we'll be perpetuating the beautiful giving and receiving cycle of gratitude and abundance, which is exactly the vibration you want to be in when you're calling in a new life. Anyway. So I have mastered the creative process for me, what that means for me. There are basics that, that go across the board for everyone, but for me, I've mastered mine, And so I'm watching that play out like while I make this business, and I'm watching myself go through like different iterations of things, and I'm watching myself feel extreme discomfort at times, and I'm watching myself experience some imposter syndrome and stuff like that, but I don't just allow myself to sit behind those things. I move through them with compassion for myself and just go like, you know what? You don't know everything, and you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. You can't just wait until you're on your deathbed to do the thing, because that's when you think you'll be ready or whatever. Like, you got to do it now. You got to turn around and give what you have to these people while it's still relevant, while you can remember it all, because in 30 years from now, I'm going to forget all these fine little details, and I don't want to forget that. I want to pass it on while it's fresh, while I've come out the other side, and I'm still breaking through I'm like a baby about to come out of the birth canal. So I've gone through the whole gestation process. I've gone through all of the other stuff that I'm helping everyone with. And then as I launch this, I feel is when I'm basically going to be reborn into the world again. That's just my own little like premonition of what's happening for me. But that's what it feels like. That's the trajectory that it feels like I'm on. So yeah, I'm creating everything right now for the business. I created space first in my life for the inspiration for the business to come through. Initially, I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I was helping people all the time, passing on my knowledge, turning around and giving it to everyone else, because I had this like really big spiritual awakening. I'll tell you about another time, probably the next video, where I now know my purpose. I know what I'm capable of. I know what my energy is here to do. I am here to do really big things and help the world in a really big way. And my energy is very, very powerful and very, very healing and very, very needed right now on earth. So I need to get my energy out in as many beautiful creative ways as possible and show people and inspire people to do the same. And that's that in a nutshell. So I've just been compelled to like share everything, whether it's my story or my knowledge or my creativity, whatever. I just feel like I have to like put all the walls down and not gatekeep anything and just share everything with everyone as much as I can. And obviously I need to get paid for some of it. So I'm launching this app, but like I already give so much away for free, which is amazing. And where was I going with this? Oh, I just cracked my neck. Can't remember exactly where I was or where I was going. Hopefully you're getting something out of this, but oh yeah, I created space in my life. Like I quit my job. I already dialed back my energy and my effort and everything, but then I like quit my job and everything like I talked about in the previous video. And because I did that, I was able to properly like sink into myself. I was able to go through the lessons of healing any past frequencies that needed to come up. I was able to understand anxiety and how to work through that, because obviously like going where I'm going, I'm going to be doing really, really, really big things, and I need to be able to manage anxiety easily and stay grounded and happy through it, like loving of myself and everything. So I learned how to do that, because obviously when you quit your job, it's like your survival mechanisms kick in and holy shit, you know? So that was fun. It was actually really fucking hard, and it felt physically sickening. Not the whole time. But then when I came out the other side of it, I wanted to celebrate. I felt like throwing an actual party. It was one of the best days of my life. I felt like I won the lottery. I feel like I can do anything now that I know how to do that. I did a podcast episode on it too. It's, if you just go into my podcast and you type in anxiety in the search bar in Esther's universe, it'll come up. Anyway, I created the space. And then when you create space, the universe fills it with what you are needing at the time, with what your energy, like an energetic vibrational match with where you're at and everything. So the energetic match for me was the next clue, the next big information, the next load of what I needed to go to the next level of where I'm headed. And I just couldn't sleep one night, and I pulled out my journal and I was journaling, and then I heard, like I wasn't even thinking about business or anything like that, and I heard theta, and I was like, okay, and I was just journaling, and then I heard theta, and I was like give me a minute, and like finishing my sentence like to the universe. And then I heard theta, and I was like, oh my God, fine. And I was like, okay, if I had a business called theta, because I could tell that that's what it was about, it felt like that, like what would that be? And then I was just like, oh my God, and just wrote. And the whole thing came out. I got goosebumps, like everything. I fully understood why I was doing it. It completely aligns with my values, because as a person, the freedom I'm creating for myself is that like, I don't want to be stuck owing people my time for money. I don't want to have to like be scheduled in to do something for people constantly, you know what I mean? I need to be able to ebb and flow and move really freely with everything that I'm doing, and the path that I'm on specifically for me. I need to be as untethered as possible at the moment. And so, but I also need to have a lot of money for financial freedom and to also share with everyone in my own way. And I also need to be able to create and have a beautiful time and help people share my energy, all that sort of stuff. And those, you know, it just ticks all of those boxes. It ticks literally all of the boxes of my values. And I like, one of my values is to be able to keep shifting into alignment with my values and keep shifting my values as I want to change them. Like, because depending on where I want to go in life, my values will need to move in alignment with that. You know what I mean? So yeah. I was just checking that was still recording. Then the color palette came through. I suddenly had my Pinterest board up and running. The next day I woke up and I like put a roll of film in my film camera and I shot the first load of content for it. I've got the Instagram up. The handle for that is called Theta, THETA_meditation. And I haven't launched the business yet or anything. It's just if you want to see what I'm doing so far, you can check it out. You don't need to if you don't want to, but it's there. And what else? Yeah, so then I created the logo, all of that. And the more I do it, no. Oh yeah. So right now I'm creating all the course content. So it's going to be micro courses, like it's like micro coaching basically in an app. And there's courses on like the nervous system and regulating it, the brain waves, how to use them to your advantage. It's like about biohacking, it's rewiring the subconscious, it's how to be creative, it's like how to change your life basically. Everything that I've been through and that I've embodied and I have wisdom in, I am putting into this platform, as well as all these amazing meditations that then go with those different things. And I'm currently in the process of creating all of that content at the moment. And my son Noah, that you saw in the previous episode, he is 16 and he only does school for like 3 hours a day nowadays, which is cool. So I've taught him how to edit the audio, because I'm like all this learning is all going to be like audio learning. I will have video stuff in there as well and written stuff eventually, but right now what we're doing is an audio situation. That's what I'm launching with, because that's what I feel the collective needs right now. The collective needs bite-sized stuff that's easily achievable and gives you a sense of like that you're achieving something, because you are, but like it's easy to achieve, you know? And we need audio stuff. That's what I want right now, and I feel like every Esther in the collective also needs that. But then there'll be times when we want video and we want written things, and so I'll put all that stuff in there eventually. And yeah, it's very exciting. I'm in the craft phase of the creative process. I was in like a seeding phase before, when like the idea was all rushing in and I was like, whoa, this is what it's going to be. And then I was kind of like talking that out with friends and all of that, and I was like creating the content for it, and I was journaling about it, and then more information was coming through and I was getting really excited, and I was like, okay, it's time to actually like knuckle down and bring this bitch to life. So I started doing that, and all of this happened like 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks. So I spent the last like year and a half, 2 years, knowing that I was heading into a totally new direction after I shut down my wedding photography business, but not knowing where. Knew I was going to help people, didn't know how. Knew I wanted a life of freedom, did not know how I was going to get there, but I made it all happen. I'm very, very, very proud of myself. I'll keep you updated. If you have any questions on like, oh, okay, cool, I want to do something that you've done, how did you do it, or like what do you, like just let me know. If there's anything that you want to know, let me know in the comments and I can put it in the next video or whatever. Okay, love you. Thank you for coming. Thanks for watching. Listen to all my stuff if you like. Bye.